Well, good evening and welcome everybody to season two, the long anticipated season two that nobody gave a fuck to ask for. And that is season two, The Swamp Creatures, Outlawed Boogaloo. I am your host, Duke Chastain, joined with, unfortunately, only one swamp creature because we would have had another, but he has AIDS of the robot features. And Mitch Connor, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing pretty damn well, and also there is but hope that we will be joined with yet another one of the swamp creatures for our season 2 premiere because Rob is now teasing us in the Discord saying that he's going to be running late.
All right.
But remember,
Well,
if Rob doesn't come on here, we all blame Rob for
yes.
getting our hopes up.
I mean, it's Rob's fault that there's only two of us. There's Rob's fault that Josh didn't come on and has AIDS. It's Rob's fault that Rich is brown. You know, it's just problems all around, man. Mitch, what have you been up to ever since our last episode, my friend?
Since our last episodes around after Reno, shit, man. Just been working, doing more art for the caucus, and I also launched a new clothing brand. So now we got Retro Remnant besides 1776 swag. Basically the brand where, you know, man, there's nothing political about it, but at the same time, I'm trying to subliminally brainwash you all into anarchism.
Sounds like a solid plan.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't been up to much. I had my roof replaced and had to deal with hurricanes tearing shit up. But other than that, life has been pretty grand. And since there's only two of us here, the opening isn't really lasting as long as I would hope. So without further ado, we're going to
wait. Well, there is one thing, though, that we both attended in that time.
What did we attend?
Young Americans for Liberty Revolution.
Well, we could talk about the Young Americans for Liberty Revolution later on, but that was...
you want to keep that for when after the guest is on?
No. Well, let's just say, like, I went there to visit a lot of things, and I didn't watch anything. I was too busy doing other things. And
that's why I thought it would be something hilarious to talk about.
No, it's perfectly fine. But so now that we have that shit out of the way, we're bringing on our third member of the show and our guest for this evening, a host of Outlawed Thoughts, our buddy Leighton. Welcome in, Leighton. How you doing?
I tried to time the dab rip perfect, but it didn't work out. I'm like 20 seconds off.
So you were trying to get a dab rip going so that when I brought you in, you would be ripping it in the middle. But I mean, look, it's so much easier. You can still do it, man. We're not going to hold you to a certain schedule. Well, we are going to hold you to somewhat of a schedule because we're only going to be doing an hour-long show this evening. But rip when you need to rip. But Leighton, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing good. It is. It's nice to be back on here. You guys are actually doing shows, so that's good.
I mean, yeah.
We're back, baby. Season 2.
I mean, I know no one was really clamoring for it. We had a couple of people maybe jump in the Discord and be like, hey, are you guys even going to, you're going to try and do this again? And despite my best judgment, I decided we can keep doing this. I tried to rally the troops as best I could. I got Mitch on board. I think I got Rob and Josh on board, but yet they are not here, as you see. But yeah. Josh wanted to. He's definitely in spirit. And Rob...
Josh is here in spirit.
He's dying of AIDS. He's dying of AIDS.
I have drinks.
Oh, you are? What are you drinking this evening, Leighton?
I've got 2 of these tropical beer hugs. They're an Imperial IPA that's like 9.9% alcohol.
All right, so... I mean, they're disgusting probably because they're an IPA, but I'm sure they will set you absolutely right if you drink a couple of them down. I mean, I'm enjoying some banquet beer because I'm a classy American this evening.
Only the best.
Only the best for classy Americans this evening. And Mitch, I know you are not drinking, but what did you spill all over your computer table this evening?
Oh, yeah, for real. No, I just got a Coke and water.
All right, a cocaine man.
Yes, I mean he's got to.
If only, dude.
He's like, I don't like to drink while I'm on coke.
No, definitely
oh my
not.
God, like, dude, if you could actually try cocaine Coca-Cola, would you try it?
Absolutely.
Like
because that's the pure shit. Because you'd have the pure cocaine and the pure sugar. It's
So
the best of both worlds.
there was a old store, because this place used to, like, this town I live in used to be like a mining area, and like it was a dairy town in Alaska and stuff like that. So there were a lot of old buildings here. There was a place called Brown and Hawkins, and the basement got cleared out years ago. But when they cleared out the basement, I know one of the family members of the person who helped clear it out, and it had like tons of bottles of laudanum and old Coca-Cola in it and all that kind of shit in it, because it was the old general store for the town.
Yeah.
So they had just stored all the old shit down in the basement, and so there were just these crates of laudanum and like tablets, like old like pressed pills that were made in someone's like,
Man, all the dissatisfied housewives in the town, they were missing out on everything possible.
Fucked up on opium.
I mean, it's the only way to be. I mean, there's a reason why they had so many headaches, because they were drinking so much opium. I mean, do you blame them? Better times, guys. Better times. Opium in our cough syrup and cocaine in our soda. What happened to this country? Yeah, what happened to this country? Trying to make it great again, as you can tell. Leighton, so you have a show, right?
Yes.
What is this show
Outlawed
called?
Thoughts.
Yeah, can you tell us a bit about this show of yours, Outlawed Thoughts?
Well, it's chaotic. We try to cover news stories, but it often goes off the rails. It's me, C.D. McRae, Josh Alofka, and Kareem Mays are the main people who work on the channel. But eventually,
wait! Josh has been working on your channel too.
Well,
he's cheating on us.
He has been this entire time. Actually, like the entire time. But yes, it's the best intro music in the game.
The best intro music in the game.
I have
on Outlawed Thoughts.
So I hated all the preset countdown clocks that were there for live stream. So I just went and made one, and it works. I like it. Restream works really well for that, because you can just like play video clips. So yeah,
very nice. And so that's just it. Your show is just chaos at all times.
Yeah, I try to keep it a little chaotic, a little bit more old school internet. Yeah. Almost like eventually I'd like to have some debates and stuff, more like the internet blood sports stuff. But I think I want to kind of grow things out a little bit more so before I do that. But I want to get like some writers and stuff to try to do some short form content and stuff, kind of compete with the almost like an ANCAP version of like PragerU videos.
Okay.
Something similar to that. And then do the long form show that just cranks out like chaotic garbage. That's always what I like to watch on the internet, and I think people get tired of watching the same old scripted stuff, so I try not to do much of that. And then I do like shorter videos where I'll write something or do a rant or talk about.
Well, I know like when we were down at Florida Freedom Fest, you're mentioning about something about trying to do a Florida centric show.
Yeah, so I'm in the process of kind of moving down towards Florida eventually. I don't have like a set date or nothing, but I want to do some kind of separate show that I want to do a show that kind of centers around talking about transferring over there, what experiences I'm kind of doing while I'm over there in Florida, and then kind of just talking about what it's like to actually like do all those things, because there's a lot of libertarians, I'm assuming, that are going to be in the same age range as me, who will probably be going through that same kind of stuff at some point,
like moving around and finding
having to figure out how to like start over, move, and not have money, and like get jobs and do all that shit and kind of work up that whole ladder.
All the fun shit of being an adult.
Yeah, all the stuff that they don't teach you in public schools, which I never went to. So that's kind of why I have always been, I've always kind of said I was good at landing back on my feet, which is, I think, a quality people should probably have, which you sure should. A very, very fat cat.
Those are usually the happiest. They're like lasagna a lot, I'm sure.
That is fair. If I was a cat, I'd be Garfield. That's I'm gonna wear that like a badge.
Badge of honor.
Yeah, well, I was in Florida for Freedom Fest. Florida
that's
Freedom
what I was going
Fest.
to move on to. You came down for Florida Freedom Fest. So, what was is this your first time coming down to Florida when you came down there?
No, it's actually my third time. I was there for Yal, and I was there for Tom Woods 2000. But with Tom Woods 2000 and Yal, I wasn't like really that far. I didn't have the ability to really do much other than just
you
events.
didn't wander too far. You didn't wander too far from the freaking hotel.
Yeah, and I kind of like there was about a year or so where I just kind of popped up at a bunch of random events, and that was kind of my whole thing. So I would just I went a bunch of random like conventions and just random spots and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I would like to eventually do that again. Maybe the next time with like more of a road trip style. Maybe make it into like a trip where I get
from Alaska. You're gonna torture yourself if I can do that.
The problem with driving from Alaska to Florida is Canada. You have to go through the border and shit. And if you want to bring stuff with you, if you're moving, it's a whole hassle. I'm already gonna kind of leave most of my guns in Alaska when I leave because most of them are it's open carry stuff, and I'm just gonna probably have my dad or one of the family slowly kind of just get rid of the stuff.
Yeah. Mitch, you didn't get to make it to Florida Freedom Fest.
No, I had a fucking infection in my hand.
Well, who were you fingering?
Big J Okerson.
You fingered Big J Okerson?
Yeah, man.
Really?
Dude, you don't know how the skanks get down, bro.
Dude, I didn't know that was a thing at comedy shows. No, I've never been to Skank. I didn't know Skank Fest, which is a bunch of dudes fingering each other.
Dude, literally, they did a Legion of Skanks episode where Gay Blind Mike was getting a blowjob underneath the table.
There's a guy called Gay Blind Mike.
There's a Gay Blind Mike, yeah.
Yeah, Gay Blind. Well, now he's just Blind Mike.
I think now he's just Blind Mike. I think. Well, he didn't get hard, so I think he might.
He went to go fuck the chick. Remember?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have confirmation, do we? Though.
I don't know. I mean, I'd assume that it would be addressed somewhere in the Legion of Skanks lore.
No, I don't know about that.
I don't know if I trust it. Yeah. That guy still might be a little gay.
Well, is this really canon?
Once you take the shaft, you don't go back.
So what were you doing instead of hanging out with us being infected? Were you just like sleeping the whole damn time, or did you eat a lot of Papa John's?
No, I was just shitting my brains out, bro.
So you ate a lot of Papa John's.
Taco Bell, I think.
No. Taco Bell doesn't make you shit. It just cleanses you.
Taco Bell was put here.
I don't know. Everyone always says that about Taco Bell. I've never had that issue.
I don't either. And it's like my only. It's the only fast food joint that I like actually go to. Really.
I mean,
I never get to go there. We don't have any fast food in the town that I live in. So there is a Subway. That is the closest thing we have. Other than that, there's no fast food here. So it's just $20 cheeseburgers. It's fucking horrible.
Where are you buying fucking $20 cheeseburgers at?
That's the only. I tried explaining this to Patrick while we were, because I stayed with him in Panama City for a little bit while I was visiting Florida, and like we went into a bunch of restaurants there, and you can sit down and get food for like $12.99 a plate and like $11.99, $13.99. In Alaska, like the cheapest burger within like 80 miles of me would be like $20 after tax for a burger and fries. Like that's just the going rate. Like a plate of fish tacos is going to run you like $25-26.
It's just because nuts. It's hard to get shit out to where you are because you're in the middle of nowhere.
It's that, plus it's like everywhere here is geared towards tourists because that's just kind of how the state is. Like, because like
Alaska,
we have a small population, and that population goes up over the summer because everybody comes here to party.
So you're saying the free state of Alaska shouldn't be ideal anytime soon?
Alaska would only be a viable solution for like a free state thing if, we have good oysters in some areas, but the oysters that come from the area I am in aren't good. I can go on a rant about the crabs.
About the crabs now. Well, we'll save that for a little bit later because we're going to talk about the comparisons between Florida and Alaska and who is fucking better in what way. So you came down to Florida Free Fest. Were you there all the days?
Yeah, I was there the whole time.
Okay, well, give us a little laydown of like how it started because I didn't come down until that Saturday. I had to stop by Mitch, get the light for Adam Nutter, but I don't even think did he ever use that light for his set. I can't even remember if he fucking.
This is hilarious.
Didn't, I swear.
Can I tell you what's hilarious about this? Because this is great. They set that light up. And I don't know who set it up, but it was nowhere near pointing at Adam Nutter. It was like 3 feet to the right the whole time. And so Adam Nutter was just, it worked out because like there was like backlighting from the sliding window and stuff, but it was pretty dark. He definitely didn't have that, and the microphone completely took a shit. Which was, they had a karaoke machine that they were going to use this mic for. And by the way, before I left for the trip, I literally said, I should pack an extra XLR cable and a microphone. And I was like, you know what? No, it's extra weight. I'm going to leave it and put it back. And then we got
fine. Nothing wrong will happen. Nothing wrong. Nothing will go wrong.
Nothing will go wrong. And then sure as shit, the mic was fucked. But it was a small enough group there at the show and everything, and we did it kind of out there by the pool side and everything, so it worked out fine.
No, it was good. It was a good time. Caroline and I, we sat out in the back. Our CD and I freaking fell asleep on the freaking lounge chair listening to Adam Nutter.
The last night I went down the water slide a bunch. I posted one of those videos on Twitter. That was pretty great.
So you got there on the Thursday, right? So how was the first couple of days of the event down there?
The first day was just kind of, for me, was a blur because we got everybody who showed up pretty much all got shit faced. So, and
kind of what the plan was, right?
I was, well, and I had just got off like a 13-hour flight with like 4 of that being spent pedaling around the fucking Dallas airport bored as shit. So it's just like the whole trip just kills you. And then when I got to Florida, I just kind of decided not to get anything to eat because I just didn't feel like eating because I think I was jet lagged. So by the time I got to the fucking event and realized, oh, we're all gonna get shit faced, I got 3 shots in. And with that jet lag and the not eating part, I was already shit-faced. There was no, like, I took the 3rd shot and was like, oh, I can't go back. Like, there's no, I can't undo this. Like,
we've gone to the point of no return.
Yeah. So I definitely, that first night was definitely just spent just introducing everybody. Bullshitting about crabs. I had a nice solid rant about that night. Next to the fire.
So are Alaskan crabs good or bad? Like I really
They're
have
great.
a lot to say. I have my own opinion on this as to why Florida crabs are so good too. So
there's this whole shit show, and this was what the rant was. I was shit faced at like 2 a.m. around the fire with a group of people going over this. But basically in Alaska, they just came out and said, man, we tested the population and all the blue crabs, they're fucking dead or they're gone. They just disappeared. We can't, no more crab fishing. Sorry, guys. And they closed the fucking season. The thing is, the crabs aren't fucking gone. Like, crabs don't just fucking disappear. And it just so happens that the area that they're closing the waters of is the exact area where the Navy needs to use to get all the ships over towards the Arctic and everything over where the Russia's at. So it's like they're clearly just clearing the highway early so that they don't have to worry about dealing with all the fishing vessels in there. But it's like they're killing off like a gigantic fucking industry. It's specifically blue crab and a bunch of other random crab that I don't really like, because over here we have king crab, which is the best crab.
Is that like what the deadliest catch people were always fucking going after?
Some of deadliest catch is a crock of shit, but yes.
Well, I was told by Discovery Channel that it was not a crock of shit.
Discovery Channel also told you mermaids are real.
No, what? Are you gonna tell me next the megalodon isn't actually in the ocean?
And that Bigfoot's dick doesn't smell like shit?
And the Loch Ness monster
that last
doesn't
one's true.
Owe me $3.50.
Allegedly.
Yes, allegedly. All right, so what about this this bullshit ass show known as Deadliest Catch? Like, what
most of Deadliest Catch is fine. They just dramatize shit very heavily to make people think
it's a reality
it's like
TV show. Yeah.
But so most of the crab, there's the blue and the helio crab season that they show on there. That's what they do a lot of, and that's actually more. Over here we have some blue crab, and then there's like king crab. Alaska king crab is the top of the crab hierarchy. They are the gigantic looking fucking swole motherfuckers that they show in all the movies.
Deep sea crabs.
Well, are like all the people in Alaska causing a shitstorm over the freaking?
There's a lot of people pissed about it because it's like a gigantic part of the industry over here. I mean, it's like that's how like it's kind of tradition over here that you like make a little bit of money, you buy a boat, you start fishing with that boat, you make a bunch of money, you leave that boat to your kid, you go fuck off to Florida. Like that's the Alaska system. Like. And they fucked with the Alaska system. Like
they fucked with the in between of making a little bit of money and fucking off to Florida. They got rid of that entire middle part. So they're just just get the hell out of here and go to fucking Florida.
How are you expected to make absorbent amount of monies to leave to your children in this state so that you can go fuck off to a warmer climate if you can't make the money to begin with?
My children have to leave this fucking frozen wasteland. But I can't do it without fishing.
There is no escape.
They're cutting off the spigot of frozen fucks.
Oh, man. Well, since we're on the topic, so Florida versus Alaska. Like, what do you want to get from or gain from moving away from your frozen fucking hellhole of a... What?
Real quickly, though, if we're going to move into Florida versus Alaska, I just want to say, Florida has some really good crab. If you've ever gone crabbing, y'all ever gone crabbing?
I've gone.
So, my dad has.
Crab fishing down here. No, I've gone lobster diving. And done that.
Yeah, like you can actually get some really good blue crabs from like the St. Pete area or like Tampa, or I assume there's probably a lot of other
St. Augustine. There was a spot that we walked by up there. They had crab out there, and I looked at it, and it looked really healthy. It looked like really good shit. So I'm sure you guys have. I'm sure you guys have plenty. Like you guys have fucking catfish and fish that we don't have up there, and you guys treat snapper like it's good, which I like because I like snapper. But in Alaska, snapper's like trash fish. So. They don't like
fucking trash fish, huh? You come down
does
here
it just taste worse up there?
No, it's the same fucking fish. There's no difference.
No,
it's the same exact fish. Well,
you got the oil in the water from all the Valdez shit. That's what it is, dude.
No, it's exactly the fucking same. I looked at all the photos and stuff. They're red? The same fish.
Is it red?
Yeah, it's the same big red fucking snapper fish with the ugly fucking eyes. But over there, most people here who are like local will eat the stuff, but all the tourists and stuff want halibut and salmon, and so they throw everything else back. And so snapper's like considered kind of lesser than. So is rockfish, which over there in Florida is also like everybody likes. Tilapia is trash fish.
Yeah, tilapia is trash fish. I remember I used to work at this restaurant. It was a fish joint. And we used tilapia for 3 different kinds of fried fish and sold it as like fucking catfish and grouper. It was fucking goddamn tilapia.
No, that's tilapia is it's tasteless. So they will uniform that shit as any fish they fucking want.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They just cut it. They just cut it in a certain way.
I will see though, if you cook tilapia the right way, you can make it really good.
I've had like lemon pepper tilapia my dad's made that I liked, but it's just not like.
It's like
especially if I'm at a restaurant, because when you've looked into like how the tilapia is processed and shit, like because we do a lot of food processing in Alaska, so you get to see like firsthand how like the fish is like canned up or packaged or put in the like. I don't want to have anything to do with that fish. Like it's like that's if everybody fishing that thing doesn't respect it, then I don't want it in my body. Like it's like whereas like over here like halibut is like the main staple because giant flat heavy thing that has a lot of meat on it. So it's like, you know, they kind of stretch the furthest.
So is the fact that there's a lot of fishing going on in Alaska the reason why you chose Florida to move to?
No, Florida. So there's the two biggest things I would say is cost of living and social life.
Mm-hmm.
Both of those things are cost of living is very high in Alaska and social life is very low. So you have this kind of trade-off where you have to be okay living like a hermit. Now, I am okay living like that, and I have for a very long time. But it is nice to kind of write and do certain things that I like doing that involves having some form of social life. So that definitely made more sense.
Where in Florida are you looking to come to, man?
I'm looking at right now Pensacola and Panama City has been the two main areas I'm looking at. But I mean, I'm open to other spots, obviously, but like work-wise, because I work in like hotel stuff right now, so both those areas have a lot of like tourist industry and stuff like that. And eventually I'd like some family people to move down.
And Florida's more of a draw.
Yeah, and they're more likely to get into like baking and stuff like that because that's what a lot of them do. So it both those towns would be good for that.
Nice. When Joey was asking why are you choosing Florida over New Hampshire, since we are all of pretty much the libertarian persuasion. I mean, everyone wants to talk about going to the fucking the free state.
First off, the cost of living in New Hampshire is in most areas higher than Alaska, and I'll say the success rate of there's holes in the Free State project that I see that are not filled, that unless they're filled, I don't see it being successful. So it doesn't really doesn't really allure me as much as it would for most.
Yeah, can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, elaborate on what you're trying to say there.
I think first off, the geographic layout and the way that the populace is in New Hampshire makes it an uphill battle for you, even with a say 5, 10, 15% voting base in the state to actually do anything. So even if you had 20, 30, 40, 50,000 people consistently voting in your favor libertarian, it wouldn't matter because you still wouldn't have the movement to do anything that you want to do. There are small things that you're going to be able to get done on a very local level, but moving those further to the whole state is going to be very difficult, and I don't know if it can scale up. I don't, at least not in New Hampshire. I think that process could work in other areas. I mentioned, I'd say Florida. I'd say Alaska's in the running for that to a degree, depending on how rural you want to go. I'd say there's a lot of areas of South Carolina and Georgia that would be good for that. But not so much Georgia anymore, I guess. I'd have to reevaluate that. But certainly in South Carolina, Florida, Alaska, there's a lot of areas where the methods that they're using would be more successful.
Well, and like you were saying, like complaining about or talking about one of the drawbacks is the cost of living. The cost of living in South Carolina is really, really low right now compared to a lot of places.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. And there's lots of areas in Florida. You know, everybody's saying Florida doesn't have, but the fact is there's lots of areas in Florida that have a low cost of living, and it just so happens those areas are also in counties that are the most vulnerable for takeovers. So, like, it makes the most sense for those areas to be targeted. The same way that, you know, in South Carolina, if you've got all these areas that is cheap to move to, why don't you go there and build the businesses and then move people there? And then you can employ people within the movement, and then you don't have to worry about what the outside market's doing.
So
build communities like the Hasidic Jews, people.
Or the Amish.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Hasidic Jews,
the Amish are a little less economically inclined.
Yes, and we seem to have another swamp creature joining us today. Rob, how's it going, my friend?
I am so sorry for my tardiness, guys. It's been a long day at work.
Are you still?
How many dicks today?
17 dicks today, dude. It was not a good day. 17. large penis day. Everyone in the legal field knows that Thursdays are your large penis days generally. So that's what it is.
So what happens? All the people that do all the bitch work at the law firm, do they suck all the partners off every Thursday? Is that exactly what has to happen?
That's kind of funny because, like, no shit, that's actually kind of what happened today. We were like, yeah, we fucked up on it. Yeah. But I just little sneak peek here because I'm gonna go absolutely apeshit. I got this new right here. This Rodecaster Pro. So
that thing rocks. I have a buddy of mine in Anchorage in the big city here who has that set up for his studio, and it's the shit.
So you're going to go full shock jock?
I have this one for... Actually, I'm not going to ruin it. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it as it happens. I'm going to let it happen.
Oh, God. Oh,
sorry.
That scares me.
What did I miss?
Look, Rob's on my beer can.
I'm drinking some fine wine from Napa Valley, California. I got it in my fraternity box. And how's my mic? Do I need to turn it up a little bit?
How you're drinking wine and you're still not as gay as Mitch, because Mitch is drinking nothing.
But it's okay. We agreed to that. Yeah. It's all right.
Can you guys hear this? Hang on, just testing.
Mister, you better take your gay porn and walk right out of this bar.
I can hear it now, yeah.
That's perfect.
All right, cool. All right, good. I got this one too. This is fun.
They never stop thinking about new ways to harm our country and our people, and neither do we.
And neither do we, son. So
wait, Rob, you've gotta load that thing up with like Martha Bueno's titties.
You know.
I'm kind of retarded.
So, like,
we agree. We agree on that one very much,
I was
Rob.
really late last night loading this thing up. That's why I've had such a long day today.
You had such a long day today because you spent all last night loading up retarded things on your sound box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you forgot to suck dick at work this morning.
Yeah, no,
and you had to do it all late.
I was a little tad late for work, but, like, dude, I was just beside myself. I was just by myself last night and laughing my ass off. Some things don't even make sense on here, but I got so like. Do you guys want to just vibe out real quick? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, dude.
Rob, I'm like imagining you going into work with this thing. I'm just imagining.
Get out of here with that bullshit.
Vincent, I need that report, and then you just like hit some kind of like soundboard on there.
Remember the Jeremy Kaufman episode when he was so kind to grace us with our presence, and I just farted on him the whole time on the soundboard?
Yeah, I remember.
You remember that? Were you on there with me?
I know. I remember it happening though.
Mitch,
because
it was me and Mitch, and he didn't like it. But imagine him coming on season 2 and me just hitting him with one of these. Dude, like, come on.
That is a way more wet fart.
That's a
shark. That's a straight up shark.
That's me in Florida after like 2 days of not shitting farts.
Okay, so
that is drinking a lot of fiber drinks fart.
Okay, right. You guys didn't answer my question. Can we get back on track? You guys are really
question that you were asking.
I was asking what happened. What did I miss?
All right. Well, we're going all back, bringing it all back here to the Florida Freedom Fest, and talk about the debauchery that happened there. Did you enjoy the location, Leighton? Because I found the location very interesting.
So I liked the geographic location of it. I liked the layout.
Yeah.
I'd say next time we probably would go like less on the like. I would say less on the like. I don't know how much you like. It depends on how much you're trying to gear it towards kids and how much you're trying to gear it towards adults. Like it's perfect to me. Like that place was perfect because both kids and adults can find stuff to do, so you can kind of just unleash the hounds and not have to worry about it, which that's good. It depends.
Especially for people with the little children, yeah.
Exactly. If it was geared towards strictly adults, I'd say then you could probably go with a more like just find a bigger modern place with a pool and hot tub.
So what you're saying is we need to have something like the orgy dome that they have at Porkfest.
Wait a second. Oh, none of that.
Wait.
I'm going to Porkfest and I'm not getting that. Yeah, I'm.
There is a orgy dome at Porkfest.
I mean, it's kind of a dorm too.
There's already too many men at a
Somebody say tomb.
Yeah. There's already way too many men at a
say. There are like two women there, and one of them is Jackie Perry.
That's a 2-person gangbang. That's what that is. It's a 2-woman gangbang. That's what the orgy tent at Porkfest is. It's 2 chicks and a line of 60 men. That's what that tent is. And 1 condom for them to share.
Leighton,
you have the worst imagination.
Communist anthem plays.
Leighton, that is far,
that
is
Leighton,
because no one.
Capitalism. There's a guy standing at the end of the line with a bucket of condoms for $45,000 a piece. It's supply and demand, baby.
It's gonna be real awkward one year when monkeypox starts spreading around the Florida Freedom Fest. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
you assume it hasn't already. There's time. We're waiting for symptoms to show.
I mean, when Leighton gets down here, we probably shouldn't tell him where in the state the herpes monkeys live.
I've heard
because they are a thing.
I can tell you that. They're not in Pensacola.
Well, they're not in Pensacola, that's true. But there are plenty of stepsisters.
Aren't they in an island? Why
Silver
do the herpes monkeys keep coming up? Why do the Florida herpes monkeys keep coming up on this podcast? I'm actually
Duke has been trying to find one for
because
like the last...
out of all the invasive species there are in this state, herpes monkeys, bro. I mean, come on.
Yeah, herpes rhesus monkeys are way cooler than freaking pythons. And all right, we'll just take him off the screen. So we definitely want to avoid the location where the herpes monkeys are for the next Florida Food Fest. But so, like, what do you think like would be a better place, the better location for it next time around if we're going to do this a second time?
I might say, well, I think centrally, like the location's fine. I would say maybe fine. You could find like somewhere around that same area that has like just a similar spot that's more geared towards like
do you think it should be more of like a campground type of thing, or do you like the idea of like the big ass house?
If you want to go bigger, you're either going to need to find an old like plantation home in Florida that has like a bunch of land with it that they're willing to lease out to you for like, even if you had to do it for like the whole month or something weird like that, or you're going to have to find like, more like a campground, which I did look into to a degree. There are a bunch of like private campgrounds around Florida that I'm sure you could like lease the whole place out for like 3-4 days.
Yeah. That wouldn't be too bad. Well,
yeah, I know there was a mention of a booze cruise, and I like that idea. A cruise is a good idea.
I don't think we'd.
Could this also be one of those cruises where we go far enough out that we're in waters where we could gamble?
That would be nice. It's like the Tom Woods thing. They used to do the Contra cruise, and that was the first thing that came to my mind. Is you would get a lot of the bleed over from the people who used to maybe go to that, because I think it went out from Florida too. So
don't they do that anymore?
No, they don't. That's my point.
I suggested this to Pat and a couple of the guys, but he did bring up a good point that some people don't like actual camping, but I think an actual camping trip would be good. And one of the connections I made in the Decriminalized Nature organization, this one guy I met in Tampa, he owns I want to say it's 13 acres of land, and there's a lake in the middle, and there's campgrounds, and you could rent out the whole campground. It'd be a fun time.
Nice.
Yeah, actually, Joey's in the chat. So specifically, Pat mentioned Joey and his wife are not going to want to go actual camping. They're going to want to glamp. They're going to want some AC.
Yeah, so like I have no problem camping. I think that's kind of self-explanatory.
What about campgrounds that have like cabins on them?
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
That is cool.
Well, I'm saying like if anything, you have options. Then we could rent campground to people who would want to just camp.
The reason PorkFest works specifically is because they have that hotel so that all the speakers and all the people they're having go to the event can get into the hotel, and then everybody else is kind of stuck with campers or trailers.
All the plebs can stay out in the wild and all that.
So what I would say is either find a campground that's brutally close to a very large hotel or or small enough private kind of rinky-dink hotel. Like, that's what I would say to do, is go find a campground that's in an area of Florida that's less populated, that's going to be cheap for you to lease, that has some mom and pop hotel that's like a mile or two away in whatever little town it is that people can just reserve rooms at. Like, that would be a much better setup. And then everybody who wants to camp can go camp.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I think Florida Freedom Fest is going to get pretty big.
Just a heads up.
Cool this year, though.
In like 3 or 4 minutes, I'm going to dip off for like a minute and a half and come back.
That's fine. Well, since Rob already kind of mentioned about his decrim advocacy and all that kind of stuff, let's jump into the elephant in the room, or the lack of elephants in the room, and look at the election. Rob, did you see that Colorado decriminalized mushrooms, but they did not vote to allow wine to be sold in grocery stores?
Yeah, and they also voted to make school lunches free, which, I mean, it's not the worst thing you could do, but it's from a libertarian perspective. I hate explaining that to like my liberal friends in Colorado. They're like, we decriminalized drugs and we made lunches free. It's like, yeah, for the first one. They're like, you're not for like free school lunches? I'm like, no, not really. Not really, dude. No. Not with your hippy dippy bullshit, actually.
I'm all about your psychedelics, bro, and like seeing with my third eye, but fucking free lunches. Get the fuck out of here, commie.
There ain't no such thing as a free lunch. I keep telling these motherfuckers they don't want to listen to me. That's why you got homeless people and taxes. And the drugs aren't going to help with the homeless people, but that's...
Wow, in Colorado? You don't think it's going to help?
They are everywhere. They're breeding.
All right. You could take DMT now.
Yeah.
You're dipping out here for a second, Leighton?
Yeah, I'm going to dip out for just 2 minutes, and I'll be right back.
All right, we'll see you.
He's got to go shovel the driveway. In Alaska, it's like really tough to keep the snow off everything.
Yeah, it's not even the end of November yet now. So what, Mitch, what are you going to say?
So on the topic of the elections, though, I also got to ask...
Well done, Rob. Well done.
I should have known that you would find a way to use that.
Yeah, he said he was going to try and get it in there somehow.
I know. I should have known. I gave you the layup, bro.
So
anyway,
yes,
we all
your
Fetterman
point you're
fans?
trying to make.
Are we all Fetterman fans?
Oh yes.
Well, I'm waiting because everyone's jumping on this man so hard. I want to see if he gets better, and if he doesn't, then I'm going to be like, yeah.
I don't want him to get better.
I don't want him to either.
I don't want him to get better at all. I want him to be as brain dead and retarded as he possibly can be. I want him on the floor of the Senate.
You better watch your microaggressions, bro.
Bro,
I want him on the floor of the Senate. It's like, yeah, with the pass. It's like, that's what I want to see. Because that's what he did on the campaign trail. I want him to stand up there and say, good morning, good night, speaker.
I think he meant to say good evening, right?
Oh, yes.
I could just
clearly tried, but he couldn't. He was unable to. His brain
I
wouldn't
could just
connect.
envision it now in the Senate. Hello. Good night. We need to bomb Syria. Bomb Syria.
Don't bomb Syria.
Don't bomb Syria.
Hello, good night.
I'm against bombing Syria, but bomb for Syria. And he said he was for the demise of Roe v. Wade, so we're all on board with that, right?
Right. Yeah.
You know, what if
all this means is that we need Herschel Walker to win in go
ahead.
So everyone, all the Republicans are crying about Chase Oliver out there in Georgia, one of our fellow libertarians, and they're trying to say he cost us this election. He cost us this election. It's like, first off,
sorry.
It's sorry. 2, it's going to a runoff, so it didn't cost you anything yet. And 3, I understand, because I want Herschel Walker in the Senate as well. I want him to go against John Fetterman and to see who is the most brain dead.
Dude,
I want the battle.
I was wondering that too. You think he's got some sort of CTE going
on? Yes.
Yeah, right.
He's a down-home brother from fucking rural-ass Georgia who played a lot of football back when the helmets were not good and they didn't give no shit about CTE or concussions. And he became like an MMA fighter when he turned 50 or something.
Dude, Herschel was already kind of like riding that, riding the Uncle Tom train a little bit with the black community, and now they're just gonna Uncle Tom so hard, dude.
Really?
Dude, yeah, they're gonna Uncle Tom so hard. But my thing is, he got like 18% in the county where Athens, Georgia is, the University of Georgia. Yeah. He would have got way more than that, but it's a university town, so
yeah, and he played there like 40 years ago.
Yeah, people are like, who? I don't know.
People don't know who the fuck he is these days.
You can't go to Georgia and not know who Herschel Walker is. That's fucked up.
I mean, as a Gator fan and a college football fan, yes and no. Fuck Georgia, but yes. Yeah. How can they not know who Herschel Walker is? But yeah, that is pretty funny. What I thought was really, really funny, and though like I was kind of, I'm one of these evil libertarians who preferred to see Blake Masters actually win on Arizona. But what I find hilarious is that Mark Victor drops out of the race, and he's still pulling like 3% in the fucking.
So I have the stats up right now. Let's see if it's been called yet for Arizona.
No, it's not going to be called yet. If it is, I'll be surprised because last I saw there's still only like 70% of the vote.
Yeah, they're at 72%.
Yeah, they're saying that they're dragging their feet and they're not going to release Maricopa County till Monday.
This is not shady at all.
That's super shady.
Even if it isn't, it sure as fuck looks like it. You know,
I just automatically assume that we're already getting like hacked and shit all over. So
yeah,
and that's why you need all the paper ballots.
I do want to point out: are we going to get to Florida? You got Florida on there at some point. Sorry, I didn't get a chance to look at it.
Yeah, we can get to Florida.
Yeah, Florida election.
I don't want to move just there just yet because I'm going to talk shit. But if we're
we got 10 minutes left, man. Get on it. Hell. Let's move it. We're just bouncing around talking about.
Even if we have to go over a little bit over 10 minutes, let's fucking do it. Let's talk some shit.
So Tua Tagovailoa, the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, former Alabama Crimson Tide quarterback, got about 17,000 votes, which is a little over half of what the Libertarian candidate got. So I'm very, very disappointed with the turnout for the Libertarian candidate for governor. I love Hector. If we're gonna run someone, especially in races like these, we got to get noticed a lot more.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly, and this is what I was saying. Like you and I talked about this last week, and we talked about it with Josh as well. If the LP is planning on running someone for governor in 2026, they need to be campaigning yesterday.
Yeah.
Who the hell is Carmen Gimenez, and how the hell did she get more than Hector?
I actually checked her out, and she's, I think, NPA, and she's
what?
Can we win her over?
Political affiliation. Can we win her over? I think it's possible. I think she's from, like, Venezuela or something like that, so it's possible. But
just she got a huge following in South Florida.
Yeah, and you know what, Joey, you're kind of right. I would I wish I was on the show account. I put your thing on there. There you go. Mississauga came up to Pensacola, came up to the Panhandle. I don't know if he came over to Panama City with you, Joey, but he came over here and he was handing out shit left and right. We helped him hand out stuff, and that's what you got to do if you're running for governor, dude. You got to be all over the state. And you got to know that's what you're doing for at least the next 2 years. Now, this place was unwinnable. The waste was unwinnable at this point in time. Really.
What, for Florida governor?
Right. Yeah.
No
I
shit.
mean, I think
see how much that man won by?
Yeah. No. Good.
If I might just make a point real quickly while we're talking about Florida and everything. Sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but with everything going on, I think more than anything, it was more so of a testament to see how much we could peel away from the Democrats, because let's face it, a lot of the Democrats were pissed that Charlie Crist got the nomination.
Yeah. It was going to be the chick that was in charge of the gas pump. Nikki Fried. I was like, the chick on the gas pumps. Couldn't remember her name. Yeah,
they wanted
her. She's the one that slow walked everyone's concealed carry permits and was like bragging about doling out the least amount of concealed carries of any freaking agricultural secretary in the state of Florida.
Right.
Yeah, she's a good one. Awesome person. And actually, she is supposedly taking over Florida Democrats, the Democratic Party of Florida, being the chair of the state party. I say good luck with that. Yeah. Very good luck with that.
And did we ever get that alleged sex tape that she was responding to the rumor of on Twitter?
Who? Nikki Fried?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
There's a Nikki Fried sex tape out there?
I mean, I would have thought that it didn't exist, but she felt the need to respond to the rumor, so now I'm wondering, does it exist?
Well, I highly...
That's right. It's a new season 2. Season 2.
It's wonderful. That was actually really wonderful. 2. That was much better. Usually sequels are not better than the original, but hopefully this sequel is more like Godfather 2 and less like Anchorman 2.
Anchorman 2.
Well, I mean, I kind of look at us as kind of like one of those sitcoms where the first season was good, but like, second season, I feel like we're going to really hit our stride.
Well, let's hope so. We're trying to
talk about seasons on seasons, dude.
Yeah, see what I mean?
We got seasons on seasons.
Certainly gonna fucking try.
I feel like
anyway, like I feel like the most disappointing thing about Nikki Fried running was this alleged sex tape that, much like the Trump P tape, we never got to see.
I mean,
I'm not.
Which one would you rather see if they existed? Would you rather see the Trump P tape?
No, Nikki Fried's hot.
But you wouldn't want the morbid curiosity?
I mean...
No, I'd want... Okay, so if I'm going to masturbate to it, I'd rather see the Nikki Fried tape. But if I'm going to, like...
I didn't say nothing about masturbation, my man.
Okay, well, if I'm going to
watch...
Yeah, that's why I'm laying it out there, because there's two different questions.
The Nikki Fried one creates an entirely different encounter.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Welcome back, Layden. You're here for the home stretch. We were talking about watching a Nikki Fried sex tape or the P tape from Russiagate. Which would you prefer?
P tape.
Yeah, I knew it. It's morbid curiosity.
The P tape is kind of like Two Girls, One Cup.
Dude, I feel like I could come to the P tape. I don't think I could come to the Nikki Fried sex tape.
I don't think I want to be your roommate anymore.
I'm not. Okay, here's the logic here, right? Here's the logic. Can I
had me, Rob.
We get there? In the Trump P tape, it has to involve a woman and a vagina, and I'm assuming the woman looks hot. With the Nikki Fried sex tape, there's no jackable material anywhere there to be found. Well, Am I wrong here? I'm using logic.
No, because I get distracted when I watch porn very easily.
I do too.
Like, and so, like, you'd have to listen to Trump going, "Isn't that the best piss you've ever?"
Can I do it on Adderall?
You can do just about anything you want to do on Adderall, my friend.
Yeah. All right, then the P tape. I gotta get focused in on that shit.
To be honest, we did try to do a little, try to trail off and talk a little bit about politics here at the end of this show, but I'm glad that it devolved into talking about masturbation and piss. It's exactly where a show like Swamp Creatures needs to fucking go with these conversations. As we're getting with that.
Frankly, what is a greater metaphor for politics
than piss and shit?
Yeah.
Piss and porn. Piss and porn is very good. Yeah, because we're all whores if you're in politics, right?
Yeah.
You're a whore for one thing or the other.
Well, yeah, to a degree.
Yes. Well, Leighton, definitely appreciate you. Even though you did escape us for a few minutes, do appreciate you for joining us on this first episode of the second attempt at a decent show. We're trying our best this time around, but I really do appreciate you coming on here and bullshitting with us, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad to see everybody back on board.
I'm glad to see you started your new show, Outlawed Thoughts. I love that name, dude.
Yes. We'll pimp that out. People can follow my Twitter on screen, and I put out like notifications when I go live. Until I get banned on Twitter or something, I'm sure that'll happen eventually.
I'm like actually upset at you. You should have told me you had a show. I didn't know until I was popping in the chat last time because I saw Josh's face on there, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" I love it.
You're gonna be so mad when you learn what that whore's been up to.
I stole Josh while you guys were off frolicking.
I mean, Josh is doing his own thing. He's a free spirit, dude. He's like that one girl. You just gotta let her go for a few years, dude. You just gotta let her go and figure out the world.
Now this feels like, gosh, oh man, I'm polyamorous. Like that's what you're.
No, he's not Flint. He's not our boy Flint. You know.
Josh and Outlawed Thoughts have an open relationship.
He can share that dig with anybody, and he can especially share it with you, Rob. What do you got to pitch us on the end of this episode, my man?
Talking about me?
Yes, Rob. You're the only Rob on this fucking show.
Yeah, I don't. It's just the way you're saying it. I was like, me. Okay. I started doing comedy after I took the bar, and I'm doing pretty good. I've been going to open mic nights. I got a open mic here in about an hour and a half, and
let people know where the hell it is.
Yeah, so you can follow me at Luchador Liberty. I'll get that going up again. That's my libertarian podcast, but this is my libertarian podcast, right? So I've been doing this more. Follow Swamp Creatures, and you can follow me at RobertV94 on Twitter. So, yeah, I'll be posting content here soon. I'm working out some stuff. I'm actually going to New Orleans to do an open mic this weekend. Me and Pat Leisner. I'm going to hitch a ride with Pat Leisner. Nice. Go to the UCF Tulane game and then hitch a ride back with some comics after the show. So I'm bumming it. That's how it's going.
Seems like a good fucking time.
Bro, what?
Hello, everyone. Good night. And go check out 1776 swag as always. And go check out now.
What?
I'm an adult virgin. I heard it.
I did not. I don't know. Rob's pushing retarded pit buttons over here again.
I know. Is Rob hitting fucking?
Could you not hear that well enough? I'll turn it up if you can't hear it well enough. Leighton heard it.
No, you played it while I was saying shit. But
you want to hear it?
I was just trying to sell my shit. You know.
Play it again, Rob.
I'm an adult virgin.
All right. Mitch, hawk your wares, Mitch.
Fuck it. Just go check out at Mitch Connor JLo on Twitter.
1776 swag.
I mean, I was also gonna plug Retro Remnant, but fuck me.
No, Mitch, pitch your shit.
No. Just go check out Retro Remnant.
Check out Retro Remnant, guys. Rob, you're a dick.
I know. I definitely don't have a whole sound bank on here just for me in this show. Definitely don't, if you're just wondering.
Just for me or just for me?
Now that makes me know that is the case.
You better get John Fetterman on there for the next episode.
Yeah. How do we not have any Fetterman clips?
You just need an oval-shaped mass and you just put it in frame, right? And then you just leave the rest of his head out of frame.
Would it be okay now to go as Fetterman for Halloween?
Absolutely.
That's just an orc.
Yeah. it's just fucking retarded ass Shrek. Yeah, that's all it is.
CD looks upset at this this road trip that's happening without her. I guess that's what's going on. Is CD, are you in Panama City? I don't know you that well, so Pat might know you better.
Motherfucker, get off my goddamn Kool-Aid.
Get on your Kool-Aid? Yeah, I know. You're
get off my fucking Kool-Aid. I am Duke Chastain, and it's time to get the fuck out of here. It's been a great time. Y'all have a good night.